Group in Clinton in August of 2025.
Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest in studio today is DNR Conservation Police Officer Noah Workman. Good to see you, Noah. How are you?
Good, Seth. How are you? Long time no see.
I know. Summer flew by, man, and I got to ask, how was summer on Clinton Lake and in DeWitt County at DNR perspective?
Well, I can only really speak to what everybody's told me. I was gone. I did some military stuff over the summer, so I was gone for most of June, all of July. When I got back, guys reported it was just busy. And it was the tedious, not small things, I don't want to say, just the typical things, but we have officers right now. We have recruits in the academy, so that took 2 officers out of the field, and then I went away for military leave. One of our other officers got promoted to a sergeant, so we were just very short manned in our district this summer. So I think we probably had the same amount of busyness. It was just spread thin. We were spread thin.
Yeah.
So the work was just going to 2-3 officers to cover the whole district. So,
sure.
Domestics, things like that. We still had those, the fights at the state parks. And then of course we're focused on getting the boats on the water at the different bodies of water within our district. So with 4 officers working, it was just, we were stretched thin.
Yeah. Well, let's dive into on the water first. Any issues on the water this summer?
No, I'm going to speak from my perspective. Like I said, I've been hitting the boat ramps and the boat patrols hard since I got back in the beginning of August, late July. I haven't. I complimented a lot of people the other day sitting at boat ramps, just kids in life jackets. I've said it. I've harped it a million times on this show. And that's one of my big focuses is to keep your kids safe. Obviously everybody's safe, but the kids are my number one priority focus. And I've just noticed a lot of it. And I'll get out and tell people like, hey, thank you very much for your kid being in a life jacket, because so many times in law enforcement, your interaction with law enforcement is going to be a negative. So I just make it a point to get out and say, thanks for following the rules. Thanks for, following the law and keeping your kids safe.
Do you have any other issues like with boats, not recognizing the wake zones or anything like that, or, fishing in spots they shouldn't be, and not necessarily this summer, just in general, summers past or anything like that?
When we get to that mid-October point, they close down the DeWitt Bridge to 48 Bridge area for the waterfowl refuge resting area. That's where we get our, fishing in the no fishing areas. And the state, Clinton Lake does a great job buoying that off, so we don't get too many boats that go trespassing in there. But we do get the fishermen that walk in, sneak in, chasing them catfish.
Yeah,
can't
sure.
help themselves.
Yeah, right. So that'll be an issue come the fall time.
But right now, no, we don't have too much of that. A place that I always saw no wake violations was out by Parnell, because from 48 to Parnell, it's all no wake, and I've not seen one this year, and I've probably been on the water probably a dozen times, and it's always a place I check because it's always good for at least one person blowing around in there. And no. Okay.
Yeah. Good to hear. Away from the water though, you mentioned Officer Workman, a lot of just kind of out of the norm issues from what you heard. Tell me about this.
Yeah. So I was telling you before we came on, and this isn't just my PSA to anybody who's listening, is we've just had an uptick in people taking their own lives at our park. Now we've had 3 in the last calendar year in DeWitt County alone. Man, there are hundreds of resources online, free counselors to call, via the phone, pick up, call a friend. If you're going through it, talk to somebody, call somebody. Ask for the help. Don't feel ashamed. Ask for the help. And that's one of those things that hits real close to home to me personally. So that's what I just want to put out there. I just noticed, I've been in this district now 5 years, and I bet this year alone doubled the amount that I've seen throughout my whole 7 years on. So this one calendar year doubled the number of suicides I've had to deal with or we've dealt with out at the state park. And it's sad. And that's what I just always empathetic, always very sad for the family, and then talking to them. And I always just encourage people, man, you're going through it, reach out.
For sure. Also, you mentioned like camping areas, the usual domestics and things like that. But again, just kind of issues that aren't normal at the campgrounds. How about those things?
No, haven't seen too much. The speeding, I've been doing speed in the park. I kind of talk about that year in and year out.
Yeah.
And I've noticed it slowed down. So
Yeah.
as a whole, like I can sit at my little spot. Maybe they just found out where I sit. I don't know. They've got smart. I don't change it up too often. Maybe they've just found where I sit. But in my one little area, I've noticed the speeds have gone down, which I've asked, everybody to do. And that was very much appreciated.
Yeah.
Especially out at Clinton Lake, they got the bike walk path, but some people just prefer walking on that pavement for some reason with that very narrow road. And so it just keep them safe.
Yeah. Is it normal to have domestics and fights and things like that at the campgrounds?
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately it is.
Oh.
It does happen. People like to have a couple beverages when they go camping and hang, and you get too many and emotions get high. And then the heat. It's funny, in law enforcement, you talk to probably the chief and the sheriff on here, and they always say they have the calls for service and everything. As the temperature rises, the amount of calls, it's a direct correlation. And so that holds true with the same out of the Clinton Lake, Weldon Springs, and even Kickapoo and Vermilion, Moraine View up in Bloomington, all of our state parks. As the temperature goes up, alcohol increases, population of people going into the parks increase, and you're just going to have an increase in calls for service. And domestics, lost kids, that's another one we deal with.
Oh no,
kids go out at night to go walk the timber, and mom and dad kind of panic because they haven't found them. So get your kid Life 360 if you let your kids do that. Put an air tag on them. But we get a couple of those every year. We get our lost dog, which I'll help people with their lost dogs. Yeah, for sure. That's probably one of those things you want the dog on the leash or on a leash, right? They're supposed to by
by rule, right?
By rule, absolutely. They're supposed to. But again, it's you get camping. It's kind of like boating. You get kind of that relaxed state, and you just kind of don't think about the little rules or the little reasons why we have these rules. And people let them off, and then they'll call us. And my dog ran away, and it's like, well, I wasn't on the leash in the beginning, but it's more at that point, it's more about finding somebody's dog than it is to address the dog off leash. We'll address that once the dog's found.
Kind of lesson learned at that point, right?
At that point, it's like, this isn't why we want them on leashes so they don't bite other people or bite other dogs. But also for this reason right here, you're tying me up to find your dog.
Sure. All right. And you mentioned the alcohol consumption at the campgrounds. Did you have much in the way of issues on the boats or anything this summer?
About, I would say close to 7 to 10 years, within 7 to 10 years ago, Clinton Lake got hit really hard with OUIs. It was kind of a party lake, and this was before me coming in. This was the generation before me, and
the Ray Witches days.
The Ray Witches, the Matt Viveritos, Matt Graydon, those guys.
Yeah,
they really pounded Clinton Lake hard, and wrote. I mean, some days we're writing 2-3 OUIs a day out on that water.
Really?
And I think the word just got out that it's not. And I've heard other boaters say it. We go to Clinton Lake to boat. We go to Lake Shelbyville to party. And it's like, but so to answer your question, we had a couple, and that's normal to have 1 to 2 at Clinton Lake. There's been a year, I think it was a year ago, we had 0, or we had 0. I'm not saying it doesn't happen.
Right.
We just weren't running into it. And, and that's fantastic. This year, I think one or 2 on Clinton Lake. Which it doubled from last year, but we were at 0 last year. So significantly less than it was 7 to 10 years ago when those guys in that era kind of really hit it hard and cleaned it up. So hats off to the boaters. And that's a great thank you. I love to go out, pull boats over. I'll pull a dozen boats. I'll stop a dozen boats, do safety inspections. I always said, I see a lot of drunks, but they're not operating the boat. And that's what we want. That's what we want to see.
Sure. Very good. Very good. I want to ask about, I drove by the spillway yesterday, and of course there's that fishing area there. Any issues in that part of the lake?
No, I've gotten a couple calls when I came back from leave. I had a few voicemails of people complaining of kayaks going up in there. You can't kayak once the Route 10 bridge towards the lake. You can't wade, you can't kayak, nothing. So stay out of it. Guys will go in there and they'll wade. They'll go about hip deep in water and go out there. There's no wading. It's well signed. If we see it, we're going to probably address it with the citation just because of how well we sign it and the safety risk at hand there.
I know that trash was an issue in that part of the park. Has that been an issue at all this summer?
I've not noticed it that bad, to be honest with you. I walk the spillway about once, twice a week. And I've seen it worse in the past. Let's put it that way. I'm not saying it's completely, cleaned up and in the perfect condition we'd want it to be in ideally. We'll never get that. That's unrealistic, but I've seen it dirtier.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
that's where
right.
when
It's been worse.
correct. And
Yeah,
when I see
yeah.
that, I look at it as improvement. Like, okay,
Okay.
we're getting somewhere.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And maybe I just caught it right on that day, but I've noticed it's gotten cleaner.
Very good. Very good. Well, on that note, Officer Workman, anything on the summer at Clinton Lake we haven't touched on you want to put out there for
I don't
us?
think so. We're getting ready to tap into Labor Day. And like I said, the boaters have done a great job this year. Keep it up. We've got 2 more weeks till Labor Day, and that's usually kind of close to the close of the boating, busy season with the boats.
Yeah.
Keep that up. That's like I said, I love doing boat patrols and writing no tickets. That brings me joy.
Well, I'll tell you, let's real quick hit on Labor Day, because it is kind of the end of the boating season. You'll still see boats rolling through into September and October, but kind of that summer boating season wraps up and everything. What is the vibe like on Clinton Lake for Labor Day? I mean, I'm sure it's not as chaotic as maybe Memorial Day, 4th of July, but it is. Okay.
I was gonna say it's darn close. So because it's the final busy boating weekend, we call it, you do get a lot of, and it's all weather dependent, of course, with boats.
Yeah.
But if we get that 80-degree day, we'll have full lots everywhere. I ask people to pay attention to what's a trailer parking spot versus a non-trailered vehicle. Don't park if you don't have a trailer, and don't park in a trailer parking spot, especially on those weekends, because we field a lot of complaints of, well, what can you do about it? And it's like, well, it's just out of respect. So there's plenty of overflow parking and other ramps to park your vehicle if you don't have a trailer. If you're meeting friends out there to go on the water, you might have to walk a little bit. But that's just part of it. Just be respectful to everybody and share the property. I mean, it's public property.
Yeah. Does camping remain pretty consistent through the fall? Yeah, I figured as much.
It'll fill up, especially I would say what past Labor Day, obviously weather dependent, but the camping will continue till mid-October. We start getting those really cold nights, those 40-30 degree nights. Then you start kind of seeing it tamper down a little bit. But during the fall, you get those crisp 70-degree days, low 50s. It'll still fill up, especially Apple and Pork. Get a lot of campers that travel to come see Apple and Pork. We got that coming up in September. So the campgrounds typically fill up then as well, and that's post Labor Day. Weldon Springs hosts a really cool Halloween party for their campers, and that always fills up.
Yeah, we had a concession at Weldon Springs this year, right?
We have.
How'd that go?
I've heard it's done great. Like I said, I've been gone all summer. Haven't had a chance to go eat it myself to get a review. I do follow them on Facebook and see everybody posting, and then I see the pictures, and their burgers look fantastic. Everybody is raving about their fries. So I do need to walk across the street and go eat dinner there one night.
I was gonna say that doesn't sound like your kind of dinner though.
It's not. But I mean, it's one of those I'll support it.
Right. Sure. Yeah.
Park. I'll go eat a cheeseburger, French fries.
There you go.
Sometime take the kid, but
very good.
I haven't yet.
Cool. Well, Officer Workman, again, did I miss anything you want to put out there for us?
I don't think so. We're tapping into hunting season.
Yeah, we'll get that on the other side of the break if that's okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, let's do that. And Officer DNR Conservation Police Officer Noah Workman, our guest in studio this morning. We'll talk the upcoming hunting season with Officer Workman next on the morning show.
WHOW.
Let's check the opening numbers now with the Chicago Board of Trade on this Tuesday. I'm Jim Taylor on the RFD Radio Network. We start the day in the red with corn, beans, and Chicago wheat. September corn opening $4.90.5 down a penny. December corn down 1 1/4, $5.14 1/4. March corn $5.28.5 down 1 3/4. September beans starting today $12.14 1/4 down 1 3/4. November beans down 2, $12.22 1/4. And January beans $12.36 1/4. Down 2 pennies. September Chicago wheat, $6.74.5 down 7 1/4. September KC wheat is down 12 1/4, $7.38 1/4. September bean meal, $3.20.80, that's up 50 cents. September bean oil, $66.46 down 67 cents. Energy market, October Brent crude oil is down $2.72, $89.45. Opening numbers on this Tuesday morning. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio Network.
Baum Chevrolet Buick offers full transportation options while giving you peace of mind. This is Scott Baum from Baum Chevrolet Buick here in Clinton. This is what we do every day. We listen to you, give you options for routine maintenance, major mechanical problems, or collision repairs with a staff that's knowledgeable to find the best option for you. Baum Chevrolet Buick, your full service dealer. See us at baumchevybuick.com right from the start.
Here's Matt Hart, owner of the Hart Media Group in Clinton.
It's been great. You and Ben and the entire team are doing a great job. And we're just continuing on serving the local community, right? This is what this is all about. We're here to serve our local community. We're here to tell the local stories. We're here to cover the news. So nothing in that regard is changing. Our goal is connecting people. And that's our tagline at Hart Media Group. It's connecting people.
Hart purchased the Miller Media Group in August of 2025 and looks forward to serving the community for years to come.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Again, DNR Conservation Police Officer Noah Workman in studio with us today. Officer Workman, let's dive into, I venture while the weather is still good, and this topic hasn't come up in a long time. In fact, I'd forgotten about it till you said it. Harvesting ginseng on state property. Is this a thing that's coming back around?
This has always kind of been a thing, and then I've noticed it. I noticed it a lot in the LaSalle County area, but then noticed it in DeWitt County. We'll get about 1 or 2 ginseng violations a year around Clinton Lake. But no, you cannot harvest ginseng on state property. Private property only. You do got to get a ginseng license to harvest on private property. But no, it is not to be harvested on state property. And
Sure.
so
yeah.
we'll get, one or two. We'll catch people out there harvesting ginseng at Clinton Lake specifically.
Mm-hmm.
So
Is there ginseng to be harvested at Clinton Lake and Weldon Springs?
I don't know about Weldon Springs, Clinton Lake. Yeah. And I only know that just because of the number of
people
I've
coming
seen.
out. Yeah.
I've never seen anybody at Weldon Springs that's harvested. So I'm not saying it's not there. I just don't know.
What kind of penalty does that come with?
It's a ticket. I mean, it's 190. It depends, how far or how many violations are present. But our minimum value ticket's $195. So that's the cheapest, out you're going to get on something like that. But, depending on the circumstance, could result in a mandatory court date. And then we don't really have much say into that gets kicked over to the DeWitt County State's Attorney, and then they go from there.
Okay, gotcha. Do you have any other issues like that of like, wild plants that grow at the parks and people trying to tap into that or anything like that?
You can go out and harvest your hen of the woods mushrooms this time of year. I just talked to a guy a couple weeks ago. He was out finding some. And then obviously in the spring we have our morel season. And everything's good. You can take fungi, stuff like that, but not the ginseng.
Okay. Got it. Interesting stuff. Let's wrap up, and we'll probably dive more into this in September and then October. But upcoming hunting seasons, we shift out of the boating to the hunting seasons.
September 1 starts our dove season. Okay. We started squirrel August 1st, I believe. It's already in. So people are squirrel hunting. We're getting into early teal, early goose coming in September as well. Make sure you check your licenses. Make sure you're good on that. We had we implemented the 3-year license deal. Just make sure you're not expired. I don't know if DNR is sending a, hey, heads up, your 3-year license is about to expire reminder. Okay. So open up your wallet, wherever you keep it, check your license, make sure you're valid. You got your habitat stamp, your HIP. If you're going after certain birds and species, grab your your HIP. It's free. Okay. And then also your windshield card. If you're going to hunt like at a Clinton Lake, we do require you have a windshield card. Go in and make your application for your windshield card. Again, another free piece of paper. It's a safety thing. When I make my rounds at night and I see a vehicle parked in a hunter parking lot, I'm sitting there for multiple reasons. I'm going to do the hunting check, but I also want to make sure that person got out safe and that they didn't have some kind of medical emergency or they didn't fall in the timber coming out. It's a safety thing like that. So no, we're not tracking you. We don't care where you hunt. It's a safety thing, especially on the state property. So grab your windshield card. Do not forget by February 15th to record your harvest for that previous hunting season. If you don't, then DNR won't. They'll decline you the following year on your windshield card. So it's a privilege. It's one of them deals where they ask that you report your harvest, and if you don't, then they will decline your windshield card for that next year.
So you said dove season starts September 1.
September 1.
Can you hunt dove on state property?
Yep. So Clinton Lake does it. In the past, they've had a really pretty sunflower field. I believe it's the first 5 days they do a lottery in the morning. So you'll go out, you'll enter the lottery, and then you'll go pick your post depending on when you get drawn out.
Okay.
You hunt, and then I think it's after 5 days, it's just open. So
Okay.
anybody can go in at any time during, state regulation hours to
Okay.
go in and hunt dove. They've got a managed field and non-managed field. So,
Yeah.
No lead. Make sure you check your game bags.
Mhm.
No lead, steel only kind of deal on the state property.
Okay. Can you use like bow hunt or shotgun hunt, or how do you how do you hunt dove? Shotgun.
Yeah. Man,
Okay.
somebody shot one with a bow. That would be. And those little birds, they just whip around. So no, shotgun's prime. Shotgun.
Okay.
Shotgun, steel only, no lead. So
What does that mean? Sorry, that's a dumb
so
question.
It's the material inside the little BBs inside of the shell.
Oh, okay.
Some are lead, some are steel.
It's steel only.
And so we only allow the state on Clinton Lake. Different state properties are different, but at Clinton Lake, it's a steel only, no lead.
Okay. Okay. You mentioned some of that licensing and verification and stuff. Can you do a lot of that online now?
Buy it all online.
Yeah.
You can buy it all online. The only thing you can't buy online because you need a physical tag is your deer permit and your turkey permit. So
Got it.
everything else, license, stamps, everything can all be purchased online. We appreciate if you print it off and you have a paper copy. Electronic copies are fine as long as you can access it. You get a lot of guys like, oh, I got my electronic copy, and it takes 30 minutes for them to get service and then find it in their email and pull it up. If you do the electronic copy, I always ask people, take a screenshot of it, mark it as your favorite in your photo album. So that way, when you go get checked, you can just be like, there it is. Show it to us, and then off we go.
Very good. Officer Workman, always good to see you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
DNR Conservation Police Officer Noah Workman in studio with us. Network news comes your way now.
WHOW.